A relationship requires constant communication to survive, but a sharp psychological drain occurs when that dialogue collapses into a one-way monologue, especially when one partner is physically too depleted to speak at all. Take this couple. They have been together for 4 years. The husband is 29 years old, with a highly outgoing personality. His wife is 26 and currently 8 months pregnant. He commands a massive social group and possesses relentless, demanding conversational energy. She, dealing with the late stages of pregnancy, is entirely tapped out and physically exhausted. Over time, their daily communication has devolved into a mathematical problem. This pie chart visualizes their current conversational balance, showing a massive 80% block dedicated entirely to him repeating old stories. An extroverted personality is harmless on its own. But demanding total audience participation from a partner operating on zero battery creates a severe psychological vacuum. Every single day, he recites highly specific, minute details of past events. These stories range from his middle school years all the way up to 2020. When she tries to break the cycle, a specific override mechanic kicks in. This flowchart maps their conversational loop. Watch what happens when the wife attempts an intentional off-ramp, like politely acknowledging a repeated story or trying to pivot the subject. Instead of engaging with her pivot, he pauses. He gives her a brief 20-second window of silence. Then he says the word, anyways, and the loop resets. Her off-ramp fails entirely, forcing him right back to his exact place in the original story. Psychologists categorize this specific behavioral loop as conversational narcissism, a tendency to steer every discussion back to oneself while completely ignoring the other person's input. The clearest evidence of this hijack happens when she attempts to share her own feelings, mentioning to him that she wants to go back to the gym. He immediately reroutes her vulnerability. He tells her that her gym comment reminds him of the time he broke his wrist at age 16, and begins a lengthy tale about how he and his old friend Bryce used to talk when they lifted weights. By centering every interaction on his own history, he effectively replaces her current experiences with his own past, ensuring he remains the primary focus of every exchange. The physical toll of this dynamic peaked during a recent lunch date. She was experiencing severe hip pain and was visibly deeply exhausted, struggling to sit comfortably at the table. After he consumes a few beers, his social filters drop, and he begins near-constant talking. What followed was an agonizing, unbroken monologue. These diverging timelines track the duration of the lunch. One line plummets into his deep college nostalgia, while the other tracks her escalating, present-tense physical pain. While she sits in silent pain for up to 2 hours, he fixates on bizarrely specific trivia. He talks at length about his college days, acquiring fake IDs, and a guy named Dylan he only hung out with once or twice. This 2-hour monologue, delivered while his partner struggled with physical pain, reveals a profound deficit in empathy. His need to be heard outweighed her immediate need for relief. After 120 minutes of talking directly at her, he finally pauses, looks at his wife, and says, "Looks like you're not enjoying talking to me." She reaches her breaking point. She explicitly sets her boundary, telling him directly that she is exhausted and completely lacks the mental capacity to listen to his stories anymore. Rather than apologizing or checking on her intense physical pain, he chooses to take offense. A standoff ensues, devoid of empathy for her physical state. She originally fell in love with his outgoing charm. Now, the daily repetition has turned that exact trait into a heavy, inescapable mental burden. The internet is left to intervene. Is he simply a clueless guy operating on too much energy and a few beers? Or is this unchecked conversational narcissism a severe red flag?